Good evening. You're a good audience.
The truth that no one tells you is that abundance is already available to you. Yes, right now. But do you know why many people spend their entire lives fighting, striving, and never getting where they want? Because you're playing the wrong game. Most believe that success only comes from hard work, that money is difficult to earn, and that happiness is for the few. But what if I told you that all of this was just an illusion? That there is a principle capable of transforming your reality and attracting exactly what you want. A law of attraction, it's not magic, but it's powerful. And no one explained this better than Bob Proctor. He understood that our mind works like a magnet, attracting to us what we feel, think, and believe. In other words, if your mentality is focused on lack, fear, and difficulty, that is what you reinforce every day. Now, when you learn to align your energy with abundance, you begin to notice how things flow naturally. Opportunities arise, the right people appear, doors open. Does it seem too good to be true? I understand you. Because we were taught to think in a limited way. Since we were little, we've heard that money doesn't grow on trees, that you can't have everything in life, and that success requires sacrifice. But what if all of this was just a set of beliefs that prevent you from seeing the possibilities around you? What if the path to prosperity wasn't about working harder, it was about working on your mindset the right way? The problem is that most people never discover this. They spend their lives surviving, fighting, chasing, without realizing that the true power has always been within them. But now you have a choice: continue on autopilot or awaken to a new way of living. And if you're here, reading this, I already know what your answer is. So, get ready. Because in the next few minutes, you will understand exactly how to apply the law of attraction in a practical, powerful, and definitive way. Let's go together in this. Have you ever stopped to think about how infinite the universe is? Well, he knows no scarcity. If there is something that law of attraction teaches, is that everything is already available to us: wealth, opportunities, success. The problem? Most people live as if resources are limited, as if there is a reduced stock of prosperity. But what if I told you that what you believe defines what you receive? Simple as that. If you think that money is hard to earn, that only some are lucky in life, guess what? This will be your reality. Now, think with me. Have you ever noticed that some people always seem to attract opportunities while others live in struggle? It's no coincidence. Those who believe in abundance see possibilities where others see obstacles. It's that friend who, while everyone complains about the crisis, discovers an innovative way to make money. Or that person who, instead of lamenting their lack of luck, creates their own chances. The universe responds to your mindset like a mirror. Do you focus on what is missing or what you can achieve? A practical way to start changing this is to observe nature. Have you ever seen a tree save leaves for fear of running out? Or does the sea regulate its waves so as not to end up with the water? The flow is natural, constant. The same is true with money, love, success. Everything is renewed and circulates. Abundance is not something that needs to be achieved, but rather perceived. Start to see that there is already enough for you, and that there will always be more. But be careful, believing in abundance doesn't just mean thinking positive and waiting for everything to fall from the sky. It's about aligning your energy with this truth, taking coherent actions, and trusting the process. Want an example? Instead of holding on to every penny for fear of missing it, how about investing in something that can bring you a return? Small acts, such as donating, investing in knowledge, or even celebrating the success of others, are powerful statements that you trust in abundance. And that's when the magic happens. When you stop worrying about lack and start acting like you already have what you want, the universe responds. The law of attraction, it works like this: you don't attract what you want, but what you believe is possible. And now that you know this, tell me, are you ready to set clear goals and take an even bigger step towards your prosperity? Let me tell you a secret: the universe doesn't work well with vague requests. If you say, "I want to be rich," he may respond, "But how much is rich for you? 1,000 reais? 1 million? Without clarity, it is difficult to law of attraction act in your favor. Setting clear goals is like putting an address on your GPS. If you don't know where you want to go, any path will do, and you might end up going around in circles. So what is your real goal? Be specific. Imagine you want a new car. It's not enough to say, "I want a car." Which model? What color? How much does it cost? When do you intend to have it? The same goes for money, career, relationships. Instead of "I want to earn more," say, "I want to increase my income to 20,000 Brazilian reals per month by the end of the year." This gives your brain and the universe clear direction. Successful people do this all the time. They know exactly where they want to go and make plans to do so. A good practice is to write your goals as if they have already been achieved. Take a notebook and write down, "I have a thriving business that earns X reais per month. I travel to Europe every year with my family. I live in a large house, with an incredible garden." This makes your mind accept these ideas as reality, facilitating the actions that will take you there. It seems simple, but it works. Also, break your goal down into small steps. If your goal is to double your income, what are the daily actions that bring you closer to that? It could be studying a new market, developing a skill, creating strategic networking. And here comes an important point: a goal without a deadline is just a wish. Set dates for each step and track your progress. This way, you avoid the frustration of thinking that nothing is happening when, in fact, it is. It just takes time. And now that you have a clear and well-defined goal, comes the essential part: cultivating a mindset of gratitude for what you already have. Because, believe me, when you value the present, the universe finds more reasons to give you even more. But that's a topic for the next step. Do you know what is one of the quickest ways to unlock the law of attraction? Gratitude. Just like that. But look, I'm not talking about that automatic thank you that we say without thinking. I'm talking about truly feeling like you already have reasons to be grateful, because you do. The problem is that most people focus on what is missing, what they haven't achieved yet. But what if, instead, you began to notice everything that is already yours? Think with me: you have a roof over your head, food on the table, and the health to pursue your dreams. This already puts you ahead of millions of people. And before you think, but I want more, let me tell you something: the universe only delivers more to those who value what they already have. Would you trust $1 million investment to someone who doesn't know how to manage 100 reais? Well, neither does the universe. A simple practice that can change your life is to write down 3 things you are grateful for every day. But there's one detail: it can't always be the same thing. This forces you to see new blessings daily. It could be something big, like a new job opportunity, or something small, like a hot coffee in the morning. The important thing is to train your brain to focus on the positive. And it doesn't stop there. In addition to recognizing what you already have, express gratitude for what you have yet to achieve. Like this. Try saying, "I am grateful for the success that is coming. I am grateful for the abundant life I am building." This sends a clear signal to the universe: you already see yourself as prosperous. And guess what? The law of attraction takes care of the rest. And when you start to see life with gratitude, something incredible happens. You develop a prosperity mindset. And that, my friend, changes everything. But calm down, because this is the next step. If there's one thing that separates those who live in abundance from those who are always struggling, it's mentality. You know that person who complains all the time that money doesn't grow on trees and that life is difficult? Yes, it is reinforcing its own scarcity. The law of attraction, it doesn't choose sides, it simply responds to your vibration. If you think small, you receive small. If you think big, you receive big. Just like that. So how do you cultivate a prosperity mindset? First, change your internal dialogue. Instead of saying, "I can't afford that," ask yourself, "How can I earn more money to buy that?" Small change, big impact. The brain goes into creative mode and starts looking for solutions. Want an example? Many successful people started from scratch but never allowed themselves to think of themselves as poor. They focused on what was possible, not what was missing. Another fundamental thing, surround yourself with abundance. I'm not talking about spending what you don't have, but rather exposing yourself to environments that increase your perception of wealth. Go to sophisticated restaurants, go to high-end stores, visit upscale neighborhoods. Not to feel smaller, but to train your mind to accept this reality as normal. What once seemed impossible begins to feel familiar, and what is familiar manifests faster. And there's more, prosper even before the money arrives. As acting like someone who is already prosperous. This does not mean boasting, but rather having the habits of someone who has already achieved what they want. Rich people invest in knowledge, take care of their health, share value with others. Start now. Read books about finance, develop new skills, create something that generates impact. The universe rewards those who behave as masters of their own reality. And this is where many people get stuck, carrying limiting beliefs that sabotage the entire process. But guess what? You don't need them anymore. In the next step, we will rip these barriers out by the roots. I'm going to tell you something that may hurt, but is necessary. Many of the difficulties you face today do not come from the external world, but from the stories you tell yourself. Yes, your beliefs determine your reality. If you believe that money is dirty, that the rich are dishonest, or that you are not born for success, then congratulations, you are guaranteeing that this will be your truth. The law of attraction doesn't judge, just delivers more of what you believe in. Now, how to break these invisible chains? First, identify your limiting beliefs. Take a piece of paper and write down everything you've ever heard about money, success, and prosperity. Then ask yourself, is this a fact or an opinion? Because, you see, saying that money is hard to make is just a perspective, not an absolute truth. There are people who make money easily and naturally, and not because they are special, but because they have different beliefs than yours. The second step is to replace these beliefs with powerful new affirmations. Instead of "I don't have enough money," say "money flows to me from multiple sources." Instead of "I'm not good at this," say "I can learn anything I want." Sounds simple? And it is. But do this repeatedly, because your mind only accepts a new truth when it becomes a habit. Another killer strategy, switch up your environment. If you live with people who complain about life and say that everything is difficult, your brain absorbs this as a rule. But if you surround yourself with people who talk about opportunities, investments, growth, guess what? Your mindset starts to change. And when your mind changes, your reality follows. And here comes the most important point, belief without action is illusion. Now that you've started to reprogram your mind, it's time to open your eyes to the opportunities around you. Because, believe me, they're everywhere, and the next step will show you exactly how to see them. Opportunities are everywhere, but not everyone can see them. And do you know why? Because most people are so focused on problems that they don't even notice the doors that open right in front of them. The law of attraction, it won't hand you a check out of nowhere, but it will put you in situations where you can thrive, as long as you're attentive and receptive. If you believe there are no opportunities, your mind simply blocks any possibility of seeing them. Think of someone who is unemployed and keeps saying "there's no work for me." This person could very well be sitting next to someone who has a vacancy available, but their belief prevents them from seeing that chance. Now, if she changes her thinking to "I'm open to new possibilities," she suddenly realizes that there are opportunities in networking, on the internet, in partnerships, and even in new learning. The same goes for money, business, and relationships. Want a practical example? Start asking yourself every day, where's the opportunity here? Are you having financial difficulties? Maybe it's time to learn about investments or open a source of extra income. Do you want to grow in your career? Perhaps a new course, a networking event, or even a change of city could unlock this progress. Opportunities don't come gift-wrapped, they demand action. Another thing, stop waiting for the big opportunity and take advantage of the small ones. Often, what seems insignificant can be the gateway to something bigger. Do you know the story of people who started serving coffee in a company and are now leaders? They did not underestimate the chances they had. The universe loves to reward those who put themselves in motion. And when you start seeing opportunities everywhere, something incredible happens. You stop focusing on problems and start looking for solutions. And, believe me, this change in perspective is what separates those who complain from those who truly achieve. But that's a subject for our next step. Problems? Everyone has it. But do you know the difference between those who win and those who are stuck? The focus. The law of attraction responds to your energy. If you spend the day thinking about what's wrong, the lack of money, the difficult boss, the government, guess what? You attract more of it. Now, when your attention is on how to solve things, your mind finds paths that previously seemed invisible. Want to see a real example? 2 salesmen are sent to a country where no one wears shoes. The first one says, "There's no market here, nobody wears shoes." The second sees a huge opportunity. "Great! Nobody has shoes yet, we can sell them to everyone." Do you notice the difference? The problem is the same, but the way you see it changes everything. Which of the two do you want to be? The best way to train your mind for solutions is to constantly ask yourself, what's the next step? Are you out of money? Instead of complaining, ask yourself, how can I generate more income this month? Are you in a job you don't like? What can I do to qualify and get something better? These questions force your brain to look for alternatives, and that's when opportunities appear. Another important detail, surround yourself with people who think this way. If you only talk to people who complain all the time, your mind programs itself to do the same. Now, if you start to connect with people who talk about growth, investments, and possibilities, your outlook changes. Suddenly, you begin to realize that there is always a way, and there is. And do you know what happens when you adopt this new mental pattern? Your energy changes. You become that person who sees the good side of things, who inspires others, who always finds a way. And that brings us to the next big point, the importance of maintaining a positive attitude, regardless of the circumstances. If there's one thing that can completely change your results, it's your attitude. The law of attraction, it doesn't just respond to your desires, but mainly to your energy. If you live with a frown, complaining and expecting the worst, your vibration tells the universe, give me more reasons to be frustrated. Now, when you maintain a positive attitude, you become a magnet for good opportunities and connections. And before you think this is about forcing happiness all the time, calm down. Having a positive attitude does not mean ignoring problems, but choosing how to react to them. One person may lose a job and despair, while another sees it as a sign to start their own business. The difference? Mentality. You can regret what went wrong or ask, what can I learn and how can I improve? Small attitudes make all the difference. Start smiling more, greeting people enthusiastically, valuing small achievements of the day. It sounds like nonsense, but it's not. A sincere smile opens doors, improves relationships, and changes your vibration. Have you ever noticed that charismatic people seem to attract opportunities effortlessly? It's not a coincidence, it's energy in motion. And there's more, what you consume directly impacts your attitude. If you spend the day watching negative news, complaining about life and surrounded by pessimistic people, your mood will sink with it. Now, if you feed your mind with inspiring books, motivational videos, and talk to people who have a growth mindset, your worldview changes. Want a challenge? Go a week without complaining and see what happens. And when you maintain a positive attitude, something incredible starts to happen. You act with more confidence. Because, in the end, believing that something will work is the first step to actually doing it. And that's what we're going to talk about now. There's no point in having big dreams if you don't act firmly to make them come true. The law of attraction responds to your vibration, but without action, you just stand there waiting for miracles. And here's a secret, the universe loves people who make decisions and move forward without fear. Confidence is not something you wait to feel to act, it comes precisely when you act, even without being completely sure what will happen. You know that person who is always waiting for the perfect moment to start? Well, it never starts. Opportunities do not appear for those who stand still and analyze every detail, but rather for those who move. Do you want to open a business? Take the first step. Do you want a new job? Update your resume and start connecting with people in the field. Do you want to improve your financial life? Start studying about investments today. Trust is built in practice. And here's a powerful trick: act as if you are already the person you want to become. Do you want to be successful? Ask yourself, how would a successful person act in this situation? How does she speak, dress, behave? If you adopt this stance now, even before you achieve success, your mind and body begin to believe in this reality, and the universe responds accordingly. Another important point: determination. Challenges will come, and many people give up at the first obstacle. But the difference between those who achieve and those who fall by the wayside is persistence. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before returning and transforming it into the giant it is today. Walt Disney was rejected several times before building his empire. They had something in common: they never stopped acting. And when you act with confidence and determination, something magical happens. You begin to realize that you already have much more than you imagined. And that's where the last and fundamental step comes in. You know that classic mistake that almost everyone makes? Thinking that you will only be happy when you achieve something greater. I'll be happy when I have more money, when I get a new car, when I travel to that dream place. But let me tell you a secret: if you don't value what you already have today, you'll hardly feel satisfied when you get more. The law of attraction responds to your feeling of gratitude. If you focus on what is lacking, you attract more scarcity. If you appreciate what you already have, you attract more reasons to be grateful. Think with me: you already have things that, some time ago, were just wishes. It could be a job, a new cell phone, a relationship, an opportunity. But over time, people get used to their achievements and begin to underestimate them. When you stop and recognize how far you have come, your energy changes. Instead of complaining, you feel gratitude. And gratitude is one of the most powerful vibrations for attracting abundance. A simple practice that can transform your mindset: every day, before bed, write down 3 things you are grateful for. It can be something big, like a professional achievement, or small, like a hot coffee in the morning. The important thing is to train your mind to see the abundance that already exists. When you change this look, the universe understands that you are ready to receive more. And here comes a powerful detail: valuing what you have doesn't mean settling. It means recognizing your progress as you continue to grow. People who are grateful and at the same time ambitious create an incredible balance. They are always looking for evolution, but without the anxiety of those who think they will only be happy in the future. They live well in the present while building a better tomorrow. And now comes the big question: knowing all this, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Why understand law of attraction? It's just the first step. The real secret is in the application. Now that you know the principles of law of attraction, the question remains: what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you just going to absorb the information and continue living the same way, or are you going to put all of this into practice and transform your reality? Because, in the end, knowing doesn't change anything. What changes is acting. And if you truly want more abundance, more opportunities, and a life of purpose, the time to start is now. Stop and reflect. What thoughts and habits are holding you back? Are you focusing on what you want or what you fear? Are you attracting opportunities or pushing them away with limiting beliefs? Everything we talk about here only makes sense if you apply it. So, how about taking the first step? Choose a single principle you learned today and put it into practice immediately. It could be something as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for, or changing the way you talk about money and success. The important thing is to start. And remember, your mind is like a fertile field. If you plant doubt and scarcity, that's what grows. But if you plant confidence, gratitude, and determination, your harvest will be extraordinary. What do you choose to feed from today? Comment below which teaching touched you the most and what will change in your life from now on. I want to know your answer. If this content made sense to you, don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and keep following, because in the next videos I will teach you even more about how to transform your mindset and attract everything you want. After all, abundance is already available to you. You just need to say yes to it. See you in the next video.